Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us here. My name is Timothy Damon. I'm from Ohio and president of the Global Youth Development Institute. Our mission is to empower young people as leaders for climate action and sustainable development action. And it's a big treat for me to be here because this is a much more energetic venue than I'm usually speaking at when running workshops or the climate change negotiations. Because a lot of the work that we're doing is helping young people to connect with that really complicated, wonky, technical world, which is these big international climate change conferences where they're debating our future and doing it mostly behind closed doors. And oh yes, some civil society people, some young people can come to observe. But there's a really great and powerful community of young people who gather around these events and build the partnerships that then fuel the work that they're trying to do back at home. And they do this in spite of many challenges facing that work. There's a huge inequality of the young people who are able to engage in that space, especially young people from the global south. They don't have the financial resources. They struggle to get visas and political access to the countries where this is happening. They don't have the institutions who have all the right paperwork filled out to be able to get a badge to get into the conference. And we have done much to fight our way through these restrictions. And so recently we had a project, the Global South Scholarships, that got funding from the government of Germany, who was hosting the big conference last year. And they said, all right, we'll enable you to bring 30 young people from as many countries across the global south here and have a stronger voice. And we fought our way through all of that. And that has now given them a stronger platform to go back home, and now I'm in touch with people all around the world. They're trying to take on new projects. But then that brings us back to the challenge of that empowerment was only the first step. So how do we then move beyond that? I'd love to be able to say, hey, I have funding that I can give to you now that we've empowered you to do that project in Indonesia that you want to do, or to do that project in Bangladesh. And so we really need to not just rely on governments for that funding, but all of us can contribute something. We need big philanthropy contributions and really to invest in young people and see that as not just words, oh, young people are the future, young people are the change, but put some dollar signs with that belief. And there are all these amazing projects that are going on that we could really enhance and to tap more deeply into that potential. And so to talk about some of those other great projects which are going on, I'm very honored to also have my fellow wonky international climate space colleague, Alexandra, who is the president of Climates, and she is going to tell you more about the amazing work that they do. So thank you for being here, everyone, and let's definitely connect and keep this going forward after this event. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tim. Well, the things are really never my size, so I'm just going to go on the side. So I'm Alex. I'm the president of Climates, and I'm going to speak about youth engagement tonight. I'll keep it short, I promise. So basically what we do at Climates is we're an international think and do tank, and we operate internationally. We try to stay true to our motto being empowering the climate generation. We were born in 2011, shortly after the failures of the Copenhagen negotiations, basically a negotiation that did not go as well as it should have been, and that's the moment where our founders decided to run a simulation by young people to reenact those negotiations, to put them in the situation, and they were able to actually reach an agreement in the end. And so that really showed that youth was willing to take the lead in climate change, and Climates was born with this idea to spread the energy into the world by young people. Our members around the world engage in research with topic on climate change, and they want to build an expertise of youth as youth leaders at the international level. And then we take this expertise into advocacy efforts both at the international level. We go to UN negotiations, we try to change things to have the youth having a voice and to really change things on the ground. We also have many advocacy efforts nationally. But last and not least, we have empowerment activities, which are basically simulations like UN negotiations, what does it look like? Or a heatwave crisis, what it's like? What can we do when it happens in 2050? Or maybe TED Talks, how to inspire people to do better every day on the ground. I would like to speak more about the Copy My City program. It's basically the UN negotiations. So it's put young people into the skin of UN negotiators, of country negotiators, and we ask them to come to an agreement within a certain time frame with certain positions to defend, and it really enables them to realize what the constraints on the ground are and how it actually works, and then to really be able to empower themselves and to take actions. Today, the urgency to take action cannot be stressed enough. We are facing one of the biggest challenges of our century. We really need young people to step up and to be able to really work for the better before getting into the catastrophe that everyone has been announcing for several years. Now more than ever, we need really efficient and concerted efforts of the civil society and notably the youth to really act and call for change. As Tim mentioned earlier, we face tremendous barriers as young people when working against climate change. Despite our energy and willpower, we unfortunately face resources and institutional constraints on the ground and when we go to negotiations, which prevents our voice from being heard and reduces our impact daily. That is why we celebrate initiatives like Gotcha, led by our great supporter Miroslav Polzer, who is hosting this event tonight, which helps young people to step up for climate change through his network and expertise. We cannot wait until the world is ready for us. There are only a few years before we have, there's only a few years before we have to really change everything to make sure that the catastrophe doesn't happen. That's why we call institutions, public constituencies, businesses to become enablers for youth in order to foster change and tackle climate change globally. We have the expertise, we have the energy and the will to foster change, and we will do it. It is time to step up and sexify the climate for the better. I would like to make a shout out to all the artists tonight. They are bold and daring. They are light. They are not asking for permission, and that's exactly what we need today, tonight, and every day to make a change for the better. Thank you all, and have a tremendous evening.
Thank you so much. Alexandra and Tim, these are the youth leaders on the front lines of diplomacy working for climate action. Now we have a special musical performance for you. For the Glocha Youth Music Contest, we held a special contest for this climate summit, and we have our winner right now, Arielle Martinez Cohen from Los Angeles, who's been making music since she was writing her own music since she was 13, been on television, and hasn't even graduated high school yet. Let's hear it for Arielle Martinez Cohen.
Thank you so much. So I wrote the song last December when there was a fire in Los Angeles near my house. But because of climate change, longer fire seasons are the new norm. So this is my song called The Fire. Red, everything was red, the light in our eyes, the life that we led. Smoke filling my head, I couldn't even think, I couldn't comprehend. And the flames, they happily danced, our things turned to ash. But I think I have always known it was too good to last. The shadows they cast, the embers they left. We watched as the fire burned our house to the ground. The walls put up a fight, we came crumbling down. It raced through the hills and it tore through the town. So it goes, oh, 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 oh. Gray, everything was gray. I stood in the spot where I used to lay. Sifting through the days, everything gone, memories erased. And the flames, they happily danced, our things turned to ash. But I think I have always known it was too good to last. The shadows they cast, the embers they left. We watched as the fire burned our house to the ground. The walls put up a fight, we came crumbling down. is green, it grows through the cracks and it grows in between. And we watch as the fire burned our house to the ground. The walls put up a fight, we keep crumbling down. We race to the hills and it's soaring through the town. So it goes, oh, so it goes, oh, oh, oh. Thank you so much.
We are the youth and we have come to shine the light, to show you the way you're living just ain't right. It's endangering the future that you will lead.